can you give us some estimate about the costing on an annual basis of the plan?
The plan for the services for children under 6, as outlined in our vision, has been costed out, and it is the most recent costing has been done by HELP, the Human Early Learning Partnership at UBC, and that model builds on costing models that had been done previously in municipalities. And the HELP costing model projects that the services for children under 6 will cost an additional $1.5 billion annually. We are not embarrassed about putting that number out there. We think every penny is worth it. That is a costing model that you saw reflected in the presentation that is based on a parent fee of $10 a day for full-time, $7 for part-time, and no fee for families with incomes under $40,000. It is based on an average wage of $25 an hour plus 20% benefits for early childhood educators, and it is based on significant numbers of children from, probably 2 years old and up, accessing a full or part-time space, and on additional funding to support successful inclusion. So this plan will cost a bit more than that because there will require additional funding for the school age part of the plan. But it is a well-costed model, and the plan proposes that it be that budget be implemented incrementally over with initial benchmarks over a real push at the beginning in 5 years and then over 10.
And I heard you talking about it and the questioner talking about it as a cost. I think a lot of people in British Columbia will see it as a cost. I see it as an investment. Can you explain why this is an investment rather than a cost?
When we say that we think every penny is worth it, it is not only, it is fundamentally because we believe in our hearts that it's the right thing to do, but there is a growing body of research which shows what the benefits are to children, families, the economy, and the public purse. So recent work out of the Human Early Learning Partnership indicates that this kind of a plan within a strong family policy would have an immediate return for government of about $400 to $500 million, both through the increased tax paid by 17,000 projected mothers who would enter or be able to stay in the labor force after they have children, by the increased taxation and spending power of well-paid early childhood educators, and by the savings to business who would no longer have the costs of having to recruit and retrain people because parents are unable to stay in the labor force. And that is mirrored in a bit of longer-term evidence out of Quebec, where a recent study is now showing that 12 years into a program there, the program is more than paying for itself. That is, the increased revenue coming in provincially is more than covering the costs of the program, and there's additional revenue coming in federally through labor force participation rates and increased spending power. So that's an immediate, a pretty immediate economic return to the public purse significantly. There also is, of course, the longer-term impact for children. And so one of the more recent cost-benefit analysis that includes the developmental outcomes for children and mothers' participation in the labor force shows that we would have, for every dollar invested, we would have a return of $2.54. So that's another way of looking at it. And another very recent study done by the Child Care Human Resource Sector Council indicates that public investment in the child care sector has a bigger multiplier effect in terms of the creation of jobs and the spending of money in economies than investing in any other industry or any other industrial sector. So often when governments talk about stimulus spending, what do we see? We see that they're investing in construction kind of jobs, shovel and dirt kinds of jobs. Actually, a pretty traditional economic approach indicates that there is a bigger multiplier effect by investing in childcare than any of those other industries. So those are some of the returns.
So I was talking to someone, she's running private preschool for profit, and she was wondering what if she likes how it is right now, and can she still run a program? outside the system?
Absolutely, absolutely. So people can choose to come in here. We're not talking about shutting down any programs. If people don't choose to come in, they would have to follow those accountability measures. And we've heard some people don't want to do that, or some communities don't want to do that, and that's fine. That can be their choice. They can keep running and meet the current licensing requirements, and that would be fine.
They would not, however, receive the new funding that is tied to the new accountability measures.